All right, so we're going to talk about nutrition today. We're going to talk about a lot of myths that have been there. Now, nutrition is something that has always been, a sensation in the media. So we see, there's always something new in the social media or in the news talking about a new health trend or talking about a new superfood that has just come, which could help you lose weight, which could help you get rid of a lot of health issues, and people just go crazy about a particular food or a particular kind of exercise without really realizing whether it can help an individual or not, because each body responds differently. And it does get very difficult for people to understand what is truth and what is not, and hence there's a whole lot of confusion in this field. Now, nutrition science is a science which has evolved in the last 65 to 70 years, and which is why as we progress there are a lot of researches going on, and we hear a lot of things coming up every now and then. So which is why there is a lot of confusion as well. Now, I'm going to talk about few of the foods or the trends that have caused a lot of confusion in people's mind. I've also had clients who've tried using these things and have had a difficult time after a prolonged usage of a particular food item. So for example, let's talk about coconut oil. So there initially, of course, coconut oil, people said don't use it because it is saturated, can be very bad for heart, and a lot of other oils as well. But off late, then there was, let's go back about 5 to 6 years, where another news came saying coconut oil is the best, use it, drink it, garnish your things with coconut oil, and people just went crazy about it. So I have seen videos where somebody is advocating using about 100 ml of coconut oil every single day. So you drink coconut oil, you cook in coconut oil, you garnish your stuff with coconut. Now please understand that coconut is totally saturated fat, it is much more saturated than butter. It's about 90 to 95% saturated fat. Now, if you're someone who uses coconut oil for flavoring, for example, South Indians do use coconut oil for flavoring, and that's how traditionally they've cooked. That's fine. But if you overdo of coconut oil because you think it's going to reap some extra health benefits, you're in for a trouble. So one is moderation. Two, especially for coconut oil, keep it on the lower side. So about 5 to 10 ml a day of coconut oil is more than enough, and then you could use other cooking fats. The other thing that I really wanted to address today is intermittent fasting. A lot of my own clients got back to me saying that, can we do intermittent fasting for a faster weight loss? And I did, because there was a lot of insistence, I did put them on intermittent fasting kind of a routine with, of course, calories counting. They got back to me saying we're not able to sustain, we feel hungry, this is not our lifestyle. So please understand that intermittent fasting is really not a diet strategy. It's a lifestyle. So for example, if you are someone who's kind of desperate to lose weight and does intermittent fasting for about 2 to 3 months and gets back to their normal routine, everything is going to go haywire that you did in last 2-3 months. Two, even within intermittent fasting, I've seen people eating large meals in that 8-hour of window or 10 hours of window. Now, whichever diet you do, you have to make sure that you're eating less than what your maintenance needs are. So for example, if your body needs 2000 calories and you continue to eat 2000 in intermittent fasting window, you are not going to lose weight. And if you eat 2200 calories, you are definitely going to put on weight, even though it is intermittent fasting that what you're following. So make sure that you are going to create a calorie deficit. Yeah. The other diet that I wanted to talk about today is keto. This fad has been in the market for now about 3 to 4 years. Please understand that keto was never meant for weight loss. Keto is a medical diet used for children especially who are dealing with epilepsy. That kind of high fat is given to those children to be able to maintain their physical movements and their brain. It is not a diet for weight loss. Also, earlier we said Indians cannot survive without their roti and rice. But across the globe, people just cannot manage for their lifelong without their pastas, their breads, their rice. So you need to have carbs. So very low carbs, which in a very conventional keto way, you're trying to get it only from vegetables and few of the dairy products, like let's say cottage cheese. It is not going to suffice. You will go back to your eating pattern, and the moment you go back to your eating pattern, everything that you've lost is going to come back. So please understand that food and you, or diet and you, have to have a lifelong relationship. The other thing is eating after sunset. So yes, a lot of people have been saying that eating after sunset amounts to weight gain. No, it doesn't. So let's say a fulka which has 60 calories, whether you eat it at 10 a.m. or you eat it at 10 p.m., it will have only 60 calories, given that you're using the same size of the fulka. However, why we say eat less or don't eat too much late in the night, because when you're eating after sunset or eating post dinner time, it is just to kill boredom, or it is just when you're watching TV and you just want to munch something, and it's more in the form of snacks, and which is why the weight gain happens. Now, if you're someone, let's say, who has a work schedule which is unavoidable, and thereby you end up sleeping at 1 o'clock, and then if I ask you to eat at 6, or if you've read somewhere that eating after sunset is going to give you weight, and thereby you end up finishing your last meal by 6:37, you're going to be famished by 11. And then you're going to binge eat. So please make sure that you follow what really works with your lifestyle, what really works with your eating pattern. The other thing is best time to eat meal. Should I have my breakfast at 8? Should I have my breakfast? So somebody said, if you eat your breakfast by 8:30, it works very well. It may work well for that individual, not for you. So you need to see your lifestyle, your work pattern, your schedule, and then go about it. So you are the best person to decide your meal timings. Eating after sunset or before sunrise does not have a blanket approval for everyone. Yeah. Now the next thing is detox drinks, much talked about. Please understand, as long as you have a functioning liver and a well-functioning kidney, you do not need any kind of detox drinks. Now, these detox drinks, what will a detox drink do? So let's say you are overeating, or you eating everything that comes right in front of your eyes, and you think this detox drink is going to do the magic. No, it is not going to do the magic. Your liver and the kidneys are the two best organs which will do detoxification 24/7. So you need to take care of your liver and your kidney rather than talking about these detox drinks. Infused drinks though are good in the sense that for people who cannot drink good amount of water through the day, so they get this flavor in these infused drinks. So let's say, I've been hearing this detox drink where people say, I heard about it, or I read about it, that you put cucumber, you put mint, you put some seeds, and that enables weight loss. No, it does not enable weight loss at all. It just keeps you hydrated. So please make sure that you don't fall prey to anything and everything that comes to you in the form of weight loss. The other thing which is very, very famous right now is gluten-free. Yeah. A lot of people want to go gluten-free because they feel if they go gluten-free, they're going to lose weight. Now, please understand what is gluten first of all. Now, gluten is a protein which is found in wheat, rye, barley. Now, it's a very, very important protein. Now, if you look at the outside, it gives your fulka the elasticity, which is why you're able to roll your fulkas, which is why you're able to have that smooth fulka. Now, gluten-free is good for people who have this disease called celiac disease, and not for you and me. We've all grown up having our fulkas, and we definitely need them. Of course, there are food industries, there are these companies which are making the most of it. So if you go to a supermarket, you would see a separate section now for gluten-free goods, gluten-free rusks, gluten-free cookies, gluten-free flours. You don't need them as long as you don't have celiac disease. Gluten is a requirement that you have, as we've evolved. So please continue to eat your normal food unless you have any symptoms of celiac disease. Now, the other thing which kind of hurts me to see people going through a lot of issues because they opted for it is meal replacement. So there are a lot of these shakes and supplements and pills and powders available on the name of weight loss. Few of my clients have gone on it and have had a hormonal imbalance and have come back complaining about it, having a lot of issues. Now, anything that you cannot sustain for the rest of your life, or anything that you don't know what the ingredients are into it, please don't fall for it. Now, let's say a shake that you've been given for a meal, so that shake becomes your lunch. Do you think you can have that lunch for the rest of your life? No, you definitely want your roti, your rice, your pasta, your chicken, your gravies, everything. So you may do it for your desperation for the next 2-3 months, and you may lose some weight. I am not disputing that fact, but is there a healthy weight loss? And then later what follows, for women especially, is that their menstruation cycle is disturbed, they gain double the weight, their body becomes lethargic, they develop insulin resistance. It's not really worth it. So anything that you get in the form of powders, pills, shakes that you don't know what the ingredients are, please make sure you say a big no to all this. The last one before I start taking questions is that carbs are bad. A lot of people or a lot of articles have come saying that low carbs or zero carbs, let me say low carbs, are something that really helps you to lose weight. Is it sustainable? Post dinner, you don't take, post sunset, you don't take any form of carb. Cut down your carbs in your breakfast or so, in your lunch also. Now, what will happen if you cut down your carbs? 1, you will be constipated the next morning. 2, you will not be able to fall asleep. 3rd, you will be, absolutely deficient in your B vitamins. You will be absolutely irritated if you don't get the right amount of carbs. And when it is not a balanced meal, so for example, when you don't eat carbs, there's something called protein sparing effect. Protein is supposed to do a particular job in your body. Now, what happens when you do not eat carbs? That protein ends up doing carbohydrates' job as well, and thereby it is not able to do its own job. And which is why you need to make sure that you're eating carbs and protein and fat in all your meals. No one particular food is a magic food, or no one particular food is so bad that it's going to hamper your weight loss or hamper your health. Everything in moderation is what we really look forward to. When we don't follow a balance, when we don't follow what we've been eating traditionally, and when we follow these myths, then what happens? Unconsciously we end up eating less, we end up eliminating a particular nutrient from our diet, which then leads to crash diet or starvation. So for example, I cut out my carbs where I don't see results, I further cut it out, so I literally starve. Now what am I doing in the bargain? My relationship with the food is spoiled. I am not able to enjoy my food. I end up developing fear of food, and then that becomes a lifetime problem. So 1, you're not losing weight. 2, you're not becoming healthy. 3, you are developing fear of food. And 4, you are not enjoying life, because you're always thinking about food. I've had cases where people have totally deprived themselves of food for a prolonged period of time, and then as a result it has backfired, because now 24/7 they're thinking about food. So let's make sure that you're not falling prey to these myths. If you have any doubt, please reach out to a person who actually belongs to this industry, who can actually help you scientifically on, and not really saying, okay, just eat this one particular food so you will become healthy, avoid this particular food totally and you will become healthy. It has to be moderation. So that's from my side. We will now take few questions. Let's see. Alright, I have a question. What are your views on vegan or plant-based diet? Now again, this is also a very, very personal choice. People do end up, so there are 2 perspectives to it. Yeah. So one is people go vegan because they're against animal cruelty, and they want to go plant-based. They've been vegetarian since the beginning, or they have some allergies. Vegan is a good option, but again, you need to choose your options correctly, because I have seen people who've gone on vegan literally surviving on chocolate cookies, on these vegan cookies. So that's where you end up going wrong. But if you're someone who's going vegan because, let's say, you have milk allergy, you have dairy intolerance, you can go for vegan. Vegan overall is a healthy option, again, if you can sustain, because as Indians, we've grown up drinking milk. We've grown up having curd. If you're someone who's doing it for a particular reason and who thinks can sustain, definitely go for it. Don't go for it just because you felt it's going to help you lose your weight and then come back to it. That's not going to work. Second, coming to plant-based, I personally advocate plant-based because it helps you get all your vitamins and minerals. Vegetarians can definitely get their proteins from other vegetarian protein sources like soy, pulses, legumes, dairy, a lot of other stuff. Yeah, green peas, chickpeas, all of these are good protein sources. But again, if you've been a non-vegetarian and then you go for plant-based because of losing weight, not a good idea. But some people at some point, let's say in their late 40s, they decide they don't want to have non-veg, or they don't want to have too much of dairy because their stomach doesn't do well with that. It's definitely fine. Yeah. What's the daily protein requirement of a healthy individual? Is whey protein safe to consume if I'm going to the gym? Okay, now daily protein requirement, this is a very, very controversial question. Yeah, people who've gone into bodybuilding, or there are certain groups where we say go ahead and have 3 grams of protein, go ahead and have 2.8 grams of protein. A healthy individual who has a normal lifestyle should be having anywhere between 0.8 gram per kg body weight to about 1 to 1.2 grams per kg body weight. Yeah. Now and you get that absolutely from natural sources of food. You don't need to go and have whey protein and pea protein and drink these different protein shakes. Now coming to your second part of question, which is whey protein safe to consume? Well, yes, it isn't unsafe as long as it's a good brand. If you're going for your workout, what kind of workout are you doing, and what is the protein source that you're having as a part of your normal diet? If you're meeting your daily requirement, let's say if you're a non-vegetarian and if you can have eggs post your workout, I don't think you need a whey protein. But as a personal choice, and if you're a vegetarian, you want to have one scoop of whey protein, definitely you can go ahead and have that. Okay. I have another question. How do you suggest whey protein for someone who's trying to build up muscles, or do you suggest protein intake from our naturally available things? So I just answered this question, Rahat, where we can first try and get your protein requirement fulfilled by natural sources. There is no substitute for your natural sources. Please understand, while whey protein is good, it is also a marketing strategy of the food industries, of these companies who are trying to market whey protein. We did have bodybuilders, we did have people who were into muscles, about 20 years ago as well, and they did everything with natural sources. So if you're non-vegetarian, you have more than enough options to, build muscles. We also, and even if you're a vegetarian, you have green peas, you have chickpeas, you have kidney beans, all your legumes, pulses, your drumstick leaves, your dairy products are very good sources of protein. So the choice is yours, but my first preference would be go the natural way. Now, I'm just trying to look for the questions. And one second. Do we see any more questions? Are there more questions? For some reason I see number of comments, but I'm not able to see all the questions. Okay, people who have typed their question earlier and I'm not able to see, I request them to type it once again. There seems to be a technical glitch. I can only see 3 questions as of now. Alright, I have another question which says, one should continuously follow a particular diet regarding weight management lifelong. Okay, this question comes from someone who I know for a very long time. Now when I talk about continuously following a particular diet, what is a particular diet that you're referring to, Kavita? Now, a particular diet is a diet which is part of your tradition. So, for example, me being a North Indian, a fulka sabzi, dal and rice is a typical lunch. Now, if that's something that I can continue to eat for lifelong and maintain my weight, or a roti sabzi, or a little bit of variety food over the weekend, or have my proteins in place. So for example, I'm doing a chicken rice one day, I'm doing a pulao one day, and then I do a wheat pasta over the weekend, or I do a pizza over a weekend. Yes, that's the diet that you can continue for rest of your life to be able to maintain your weight. If you've been on a diet for something which is never part of your life, so for example, if I ask somebody to continuously eat one particular food, I can't even think of a food like that because I don't give that to my clients. A particular food that you're eating morning, evening, and then you go back to your eating style, yes, you go to gain your weight back. But if you're someone who's been eating during your dieting phase also, if you've had variety of food, you can continue the same diet, of course with few more additions as you like in your family tradition. Okay, another question. Being in diet will reduce the lactation for mothers. What can they consume to reduce postpartum weight without milk reduction? Any suggestion? So first of all, please do not diet if you're breastfeeding. Yeah, this is not the right time, because you may be somebody who may be producing a lot of milk, but if you're not eating healthy, the milk quality will go down, and that's the last thing that you want for your infant. I would definitely not advocate dieting while you're breastfeeding. However, what I would suggest you to have more milk supply and quality of milk is to add Zeera in all your meals. It helps you to increase your breastfeed. Second, have panjiri, which is made traditionally in different forms. So some people make panjiri, some people make laddus, which is made of ragi or atta. It has all possible dry fruits. It has edible gums, which gives you the energy to cope with the with the additional work of your infant and your body, which has gone through a lot during these 9 months and the delivery. Also, when you're breastfeeding, you need about 500 calories in terms of fat to be able to produce milk. So please don't diet at these foods. Also have happy thoughts. Happy thoughts will release oxytocin and dopamine, and you will be able to produce good milk. How important are multivitamins for nutrition and diets? All right, this is a very nice question now, because so now there is a lot of adulteration, as we all know. Also, the soil is depleted of its minerals, so we don't get enough iodine, we don't get enough selenium, we don't get enough zinc, because the soil quality has gone down. So how do we deal with it? While we try that we eat the best, while some people go for organic, multivitamin is definitely not a bad idea. I personally take a multivitamin every day to be able to maintain all the functions of the body properly. For example, your B vitamins are very, very important. And where do you get them? You get them in your vegetables, in your whole grains, in your cereals, wheat. Now, if they're not coming from the most genuine source, there is a high possibility that you may become deficient. So multivitamin is definitely something that one should look at, especially post 30. As our, the body's requirement increases and the absorption rate sometimes goes down, multivitamin is something that you can definitely look at. However, don't overdo it. So I have seen people taking a vitamin E separately, a vitamin K separately, a B vitamin separately. Just one multivitamin, a good multivitamin, something that your doctor has prescribed is good enough. Because please understand, vitamin A, D, E, K are fat soluble and can be stored in your liver, and toxicity can be bad. So make sure that you're eating just one multivitamin a day. And of course, beyond that, if your doctor has diagnosed you of any deficiency, they will give you the appropriate course. Another question, do we have to keep changing your diet regularly? I've heard you should change it up a bit so that body does not get used to it. Sonia, more accurate for your workout per se. Yeah, because your body gets used to it and stops responding to a particular kind of workout. And we talk about shocking the body by let's say if you've been in resistance training, we say go on extreme cardio for 2-3 days and then come back to your weight resistance. But when it comes to food, how much can you change? Yes, while you are on the weight loss journey, we do try and change every week, so that one is to break the monotony, two, to be able to balance all the micronutrients. Because please understand, micro and macro, because we cannot give you all the nutrition in terms of let's say extreme oil or too many nuts and seeds. So we do change so that everything is given to you. Let's say 1 week you get your nuts, the other week you get your legumes, or you get a mixture of everything. But once you've achieved your target weight, make sure that you eat a balanced diet on daily basis. You really don't need to kind of work on changing your diet from shocking your body perspective. Your body, human body is the best computer in the world, and it kind of decides everything on its own. So as long as you're giving it the right fuel, you don't really need to change. The body will work the best for you if you give it the best food. How much ghee can a person take in a month if he's had a stunt implant? Ghee for a person who's had a stunt implant or otherwise, fat has to be restricted to an acceptable limit. 20 to 30% of your calories, depending on a case, should be coming from your fat, which includes your cooking fat like your oil, ghee, what else, malai, whatever you cook in, and then your nuts and seeds and your meats. So everything should include in that. However, for someone who's had a stunt implant, please go low on ghee or any kind of fat. So about, let's say about 15% of the calories, overall calories, should be coming from ghee. I cannot give you a particular number because I do not know the details, but please reduce the fat intake overall. Okay, Deepsea Girl is asking, which of the two diet is better to lose weight? High protein diet versus diet rich in vegetable and fiber, easy to digest. Okay, a diet which is moderate and has carbs, protein and fat all. Now when you go on a plant-based diet, negating your protein totally, what you're going to experience is low protein, and thereby fatigue will set in. You will not be able to lose weight, and you will your muscle wastage will begin over a prolonged period of time. However, if you do only protein, that has its own repercussions, because then the kidneys are going to take a toll. So whatever you eat in the form of protein, the waste product gets metabolized by the kidney. So if you're overdoing your protein, the kidneys are going to take a toll. So opt for a diet which has protein, which has definitely vegetable and fiber and carbs and fat. So the 5 nutrients, which you could always take as your 5 fingers, is your carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. So make sure that even if you don't have it in one particular meal, but across the day, you're meeting all your requirements. And that is what is sustainable. That is what is going to give you the best result in terms of weight loss as well. Any suggestions or advice to avoid the sugar rush post meals? Most people start looking for high sugar products, chocolates, ice cream, etc. Do you suggest putting off sugar from our diet? Very interesting question. I have also done a video on sugar. Go back to my YouTube channel or the page and watch this video so that you will get the details. But I'll tell you something now. Sugar has, I'm sure all of us have heard this drug called cocaine. Sugar gives you the same effect, or cocaine gives you dopamine, and so does sugar. When you don't eat food enough, which has enough of protein, you will look out for these sugary items post meal. If you, let's say if you're on everyday basis just having rice and some curry or a roti sabzi, which doesn't have any protein, you will reach out for these things. You will reach out for desserts and sugar, and then once you eat one, you want to eat one more, and you want to eat one more, and thereby you feel happier. You definitely get a sugar rush, and then after a few hours it comes down crashing. So one, it is how you train your mind. It is more of psychological thing that happens. So you need to control and make sure that you have protein in your lunch. You have enough protein in the form of dal, in the form of curd, in the form of chicken. Make sure that there is protein, and you will see these cravings going down. I'll give you a quick tip. If you have these cravings, please take a small cardamom, the green elaichi, and suck on that elaichi. That also releases dopamine and gives you the same satisfaction which an ice cream or a chocolate will give you. Yeah, it is not going to happen overnight, but train your mind for a longer run. Trust me, sugar has absolutely no benefit that I can talk about. And especially the refined sugar, the forms that you mentioned, the chocolates and the ice creams. If you have to have your sugar, try and have milk-based desserts so that at least you're getting some nutrition, and don't club it with a meal. Yeah, so maybe let's, if you really want to have, or if it's a special occasion, a kheer is better than a chocolate. A rasgulla which is made of chena is better than what do you say, maybe a gulab jamun, because it will give you some nutrition. So make sure that you're choosing your desserts also wisely. How does one determine his or her daily calorie requirement? Now that's a tricky one, okay? While I know that there are enough and more apps available, but trust me, none of the apps can give you the exact requirement that you have for your calorie need. The basic requirement, so I will not get into numbers because it will lead to a lot of confusion, because there are a lot of people who don't have nutrition background here. So let's say if you follow a particular kind of meal and you've been following it for quite some time, on those calories, on those meals, you're not losing weight. That totally means that these are your maintenance calories. This is your maintenance phase. You are not losing weight, and please make a journal and see for the last 15 days if you've been eating similar kind of food. Then that's your maintenance food. That's your maintenance calorie. That's your maintenance phase. Go ahead and reduce a part of it. So let's say if you say 100%, go and reduce 20% of your food. If you see a weight reduction, that's a calorie deficit. So that's the best way to be able to calculate your weight loss, weight gain, calorie requirement. Okay, do we have any more questions? Please type your questions again in case if I have missed out. I think I've taken pretty much all the questions. So the closing comment, please make sure that you eat in moderation, that you include variety of food, because the more diverse your diet is, the more diverse gut flora and gut bacteria you're going to have, and the more healthy you're going to be. My last video was about gut and brain connection and how a healthy gut helps you to stay healthy. Also, the moderation will never make you feel deprived. It will not frustrate you because you'll be able to add all the foods. Food and you have to be a lifestyle. Food and you have to be a lifelong relationship. If you follow this, trust me, you will be healthy. Weight loss, weight gain, bodybuilding, body shrinking does not happen overnight. It's a journey. So if you stay at it, you will achieve great heights in terms of your health. Don't run after a number. Don't set unrealistic targets. Even if you lose 10% of body fat, body weight in a healthy way, you have achieved a great thing in terms of your health. Yeah? Stay safe, stay healthy. You have any questions, please put them in comment section. I will get back to you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where I put all my YouTube videos. We will see, and we will have more live sessions going forward. Take care. Bye-bye.